Brothers and sisters, EBS cares all day, every day, and salute to those who's dwelling in that great divine spirit deep within, and that's brother, sister, younger or older, family member. And welcome to another edition of EBX discussion, and that's current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. I salute you and I thank you, and cultivate that love deep within is which we are going to get into, and this is just a little thought intro before I get into the topic. We have to have love, real love, not fake love, not manipulative love, not pretending love, because that great divine and that principle of Mother Nature and universe, what I always say, folks, whatever we harbor deep inside, and this is I won't say a law, a man's law, but and I'm not the only one to speak on this, but I always incorporate other teachers. That's how we build generals, especially those hidden spiritual generals that's within us. Because when we have true love within, we create spiritual allies, and not always physical, but just in the spiritual realm that we can't see. But how do we know this? When we have deep, real love, and we're not just going off human feelings and human things. Remember, folks, this body can go above and beyond our own little primitive existence. Real talk. We have so much more value and things we can put out to that universe. And I'm talking to my melanated brothers and sisters. So we need to stop the bullshit, and do what's right. We know when we're doing wrong, and we know what we're doing right. So stop fucking playing. That's just the exclamation point. Don't listen to the cuss words, because when I'm speaking on something that's real, and we all can agree on this, love is nothing to fucking play with. Either you got real genuine love or you don't, because those who love themselves and have that light and it's true to the pit of the soul, it's nothing evil can do. And when we learn the art of anticipation, we can see it before it even get near us. Now, when we're locked in to that divine zone, love, real love, are or is the ties that bind. And if you see on my thumbnail, and I'll talk about my banner here, that's my son. Salute, Ethan. And I spent time with him yesterday. And if you look on my thumbnail, that's my son, Ethan. I'm holding when he was a baby. You had to go back and look at it. And the rest of them are my spiritually adopted children I always speak on. And I just spent time with them yesterday, and I spend time with them when I can, but you got to watch out for evil forces, because when you are connecting, when you do have love, and I'm not just talking about the brothers and sisters and family, of course we have as much love and genuine connection to family and brothers and sisters too, and that's in the world and online. And because it gets to a point in our lives where shit get real. Now again, folks, I always got to reiterate, don't forget to have fun. Don't let this world make us where we're too deep all the time. Learn to joke and know that we are human. But at the same time, we keep that righteous divine shield up. And we, and I always like to say the great divine protects us on the inside. Mother Nature protects us on the outside. But we won't know or feel these things if we're in a place of narcissism, manipulation, and evil acts or thoughts. It's not going to get you any damn where. I don't care how smart you think you are, how powerful you think you feel. Great divine knows all of our hearts, especially melanated brothers and sisters. But that powerful force knows everyone's heart, knows our actions from the moment we were born. I don't know why people think they can go around God and go around this righteous spirit realm that's out here, because the real God now, the emphasis on real God, we talking about the real one, ain't playing out here. So people better get their shit together. Excuse my French, but forgive me, God. I shouldn't be saying cuss words, but it all starts with what? The truth is at the root. So, we gonna fumble and make mistakes in this life, but it's how we are as an individual deep within, and that's brother, sister, family member, younger or older. Okay, now we hear a lot of us adults, not all now, some. Now I used to be like this too, now let's speak on the youth. And of course, that's, if you see on the thumbnail, that's all my spiritually adopted children And I love them. I love them with all my heart. I text my stepdaughter yesterday, and I told them I love them, and they are my heart. They are. I've really grown, or really have gotten a connection. When you love children, and brother or young sister, no matter what age frame, when you're in their life and you have seen the righteous things that you have taught them or showed them, and you see it beginning to manifest. Maybe not in some children all the way, but you can see little influences that you had in their lives, whether it's your biological children, or maybe it's another child, that's not biological, because that's wonderful too. And something I told my son's mom yesterday, and she's going to have to learn, you can't run from the truth. I'm sorry, and this goes for everybody. The truth will run you down, and you can try to blame others. You can try to point the finger. You can try to talk down on people. You can do this, that, and the third. But who runs this whole shebang? Who runs this whole wide world? That great divine Mother Nature. So if you think you can overpower this universe, let me know how that worked out. And what does that do when we don't have real? I'm going to get back to the children, because I want to speak on having a divine connection, and how important it is to have a loving divine connection with our children. No matter what happens on the outside, never break that connection. Because remember, folks, that's what evil does, right? That's what the devil does. Separate, divide, and conquer. So, no matter what, we have to stand firm, as long as nothing is hurting us physically. But if it's just words, or just something that's to sway us or mess with our minds, if we've studied human nature over time, we'll be fine, because we got that great divine that resides deep inside. Because once you got that love connection with divine, and you really truly have got love, and you're connecting, and you're honest with yourself and others, and you're connecting with family, children, brothers and sisters, significant other, if you have one, I'm telling you, be on fire, and you pay attention to your dreams and intuitions, and stay sharp. A great divine will lead the way, and it will put it in us where we can lead. But it first begins with oneself, because you can't lead shit in this life if one's not disciplined. I mean, it's an adult or a young adult. Now, let's get to, that's not all adults now, but some adults. I have learned to understand our youth now, even the ones that may be stray and doing things that they're not supposed to do. But we got to remember, brothers and sisters, those of us that are wise and of age. Now, this is just suggestion, advice. I never want to come off like I think I know everything. I'm just giving one's perspective. We have to analyze and study our youth, and remember that this is their time. This is their generation. This is their time. They have to go through their growth spurt and learn. It's just unfortunate. Some will get there, some won't, or maybe some will get there soon, some will get there later. But if we got adults like me and others that are genuine and real, emphasis on real, to the pit of the soul, and no manipulation, no tricks, and working on our flaws, we'll guide them, and they will understand. Because children are not dumb. We got to stop treating children, especially if they're younger than us. I'm telling you, that'll backfire. Because especially in these times, these children are a lot more intelligent than a lot of us were. Some of us, and I'll put myself in there. I can say my children, spiritually adopted and biological, are way more intelligent than I. But it's still things that they don't know. It's still things that, because remember, folks, we as adults, we were here before them. So even though a lot of them are intelligent and know things, it's still things, experiences in life that a book can't teach you, and some things that they won't learn. There's some things, and that's when the adults, brother or sister, the things we have learned, that's when we fill in the blanks of things that they might miss here and there. So that's why we need good, strong generals that are adults and aware of themselves and healing from any past trauma or issues. Because if you got any hangups within you, it's going to stagger you and stop you. And as I said on the last podcast, whatever's toxic in the way and you don't deal with it, brother or sister, that's what will be, what stands in the way becomes the way. So don't do that, and when you're wrapped up in devilish ways, evil thinking, and only what you want, I feel sorry for you. And I don't mean that to be sarcastic. I really feel sorry for you, because when you're wrapped up in drama and only what you want and not paying attention to the important things and not able to see what can come down the road. See, if you're studying yourself and you're studying human nature and you're paying attention to things and you have more understanding, you tend to, to anticipate the future and you start setting goals and plans. But as I read in the definition last podcast about the wandering of the mind, when our mind wanders, and I'm talking to adults, with children, their mind's going to wander. They're going to do different things. They're children. But if they got adults around them, brother or sister, that's standing firm in the righteous foundation through the mix of the mistakes or human errors, but we've worked on ourselves, man, I'm telling you, love, things like that, that's what will help the ties bind, and they bind forever. Because when you got that genuine love to the pit of your soul and you ain't playing, nothing can break that. Doesn't matter, because everyone has a choice if they're healthy, mind, body, and soul. But only we can change ourselves as brothers and sisters. We can, again, there's brothers and sisters out here on fire that's teaching, young and old, that we can be inspired from. But what do we have to do? We have to be in that space. If we're off into this petty space and not looking at an overall picture and out here exploring and doing things above and beyond this human body and stuck in where the devil wants us, that's where we'll be. Again, what stands in the way will become the way, because Brother E and many other brothers and sisters like me that have fought, and I mean fought. Some it was hard. It was more than challenging to get to a stable place. We deal with a lot of shit, a lot of reachers and teachers online, and those who maybe speak in public, or those who just maybe speak in general, those who just have that light in general, whether you have a platform or not. I know the shit you go through. We deal with evil shit all the time, but it becomes laughable at some point and sad, I mean, laughable, not like making fun of someone, but you just shake your head at certain things when you become wise. And again, wise could be at a young age. Remember, it's either age or a level of self-awareness, but you begin to see, I always said little introspection never hurts. We see whether it's brother or sister, if we were a certain way or something, but when we're not and we have changed within, emphasis on that, deep within, we become a mirror to others again. And sometimes it's sad and we can see toxic things in others. And what do we always say to ourselves? Like, man, I remember I used to think like that. I remember I used to fly off the handle like that. And it's sad in some cases because you have children involved. So if anybody going through any kind of situation, whether it's, the relationship, friendship, anything where there's evil person, place, or thing, you stand your ground, but don't give in to it unless it's hurting us physically. If we have to get police involved or anything like that, we have to do it, but use that as a last resort. Anything that has to do with dividing or separating, as I heard a brother speak on, for some reason that's in my spirit. Actually, I just heard a brother speak on that. But anything that brings dividing or separation, stay away from that. Whatever it takes to keep that love binded together, especially with children, that's what we focus on. Things that are important, things that can help us in the future, whether it's physically, our mind, body, and soul, whether it's our finances, our well-being. And if we are the head of a household or the leader or the one with the most brains or the most wise, stay with that. Don't lose that. Listen to other things. Again, read like I do when I'm offline. I listen to other speakers. I read things. I listen to little quotes. Always got to put things in our minds, especially that's positive, to remove the negative thoughts that try to enter. Because a lot of times, I always say person, place, or thing, but as we all know, a lot of it comes through people. So, but when you're at a heightened self-awareness, you'll see these things. We help if we can, but sometimes you have to help from afar. But never let nothing in this world, person, place, or thing, stop us from having a divine, loving heart. And I'm not talking about soft love either. Just love that keeps us focused on the right things of life. Because right is right, wrong is wrong. Either way you look at it. I don't care how we try to justify it and yell and act a fool. You're just making yourself look like a plain idiot and a dummy. Real talk. So we can have all the knowledge in the world, but however our character is, or how we act in the world or in front of people, will determine our intelligence. So it's not the knowledge that we have, it's how we incorporate it, how we live our lives, because being smart is more than just knowing things and being educated from books and all that. Again, folks, like I always say, all that's fine and dandy, but if we are not right as a person within our heart, it's all for nothing. It's like tires spinning out in mud. Real talk. And a lot of us that are enlightened have done and are done with the evil bullshit and really see this world, person, place, or thing for what it is. We're going to let you run that tire, in that mud. So have fun, And the analogy a lot of us like to use, can't keep putting, wasted energy into a bucket with a hole in it. Now, I'm not the only one to use that analogy. A lot of us use this. And it's a lot of empty voids. And I'm still talking about adults, and because how we are as adults will determine how some of our generation will be. So I will stay on fire for my spiritually adopted children and my biological children. And I always reiterate, I have 2 daughters, biological daughters that I haven't spoke to in a while. And it's nothing bad or nothing. It's just, just haven't spoke to them. And, when you make the daddy mistakes in the past, I got it. Hey, I'm no different than no one else. I have to accept one's consequences too, so, and I was in their lives, but not like I should have been. And, they have a right to be a little upset with dad. They're supposed to be, but whenever the time comes to talk and communicate, I'll be ready, and I've been in their lives though. I don't want to make it sound like I'm this best dad or the bad dad. I just, wasn't in our lives like I should have been. Because as I said, folks, we have a time in our lives where sometimes we're not that aware. And when my children were younger, I was in a different state of mind. As we always say, if I knew then what I know now, things would be a little different. But sometimes we can't always say that either, because great divine moves strategically. So great divine always reminds us the things we've been through or things we done we're supposed to learn from them. We're not supposed to use it to, to be bitter from it, or no, we're supposed to understand why we went through it. Because I wasn't always perfect, even before I had children. Especially when I was a child or younger, I'd done some rotten things. I did. So I had to in turn, take that karma. But you don't really realize things like that when you're doing things or unaware. But you realize it later on. As I always say, folks, a lot of things we come into in life, we would not understand at the moment. But don't that great divine always show us later on, whether we pay attention to it, use it, and change or not? It will show us. We all get that gut feeling. It's just a matter of listening to it and answering that call. And that call can be many things and not always a gift. That comes too, because I always say it's a trillion and billion gifts and righteous tools that melanated brothers and sisters have. But one of those callings is to change oneself, because you really can't answer a calling or a divine gift or a tool. You really can't. You can't answer that calling if one's not fixed deep within, because you'll just cock that calling all up. And as I said, it could be a trillion and billion tools and gifts. And the main calling that a lot of us get before we step into the next level is changing oneself. Now, you can ignore it. You can act like you don't see it, but it'll still be there. And it'll pop out here and there. And it'll show in your character. When you're fake and you're manipulative and you're a narcissist, you can't hide it, And that's why I like to, that's like one likes to study oneself. That's why you always hear me say, I never want to come off like I think I know everything, because once we think we know everything and we're just shutting everything down and we're not understanding why things are happening the way they are. Again, folks, things happen in our lives sometimes. I'm still talking about adults, to change us. But sometimes we don't want to see it. We want what we want. We don't want to change. Okay. Goes back to that analogy. You're going to be like a tire spinning out in the mud, because eventually, especially those, still talking about adults, especially those who have households, maybe have children. Children are going to grow up, be adults one day. And that goes back to what we do righteous in the present will benefit us in the what? Fill in the blank. So if you've done a lot of toxic things along the way, especially if we have children, guess what will come back later on in our adulthood? Remember, folks, we're going to get old one day. So by the time we get to 50, or we are in our 50s, if we're working on something or we're having trouble in an area in our body, please do whatever to get help to fix it. If it's physical, mentally, or the good old spiritual, do whatever, because only we know if we need help. And a lot of us do know. And again, we're talking about healthy brothers and sisters that are adults. If you got all your senses and you're somewhat intelligent, we have to be intelligent. And again, it's more than being educated. It's about doing the right thing, even when it's not easy or to get anything or when no one's looking. That's when we truly are divinely connected and have that love. Because when you got real love, emphasis on real love, those are and is the ties that bind forever, So, but when you have connected to that divine force, as many of my great generals out here have, salute those who have made it through the layers and dealt with themselves and still in a student spirit. Always got to keep that student spirit. Y'all know I always tell y'all, you're a leader and a teacher, but we have to develop these things. It's more than just leading people, it's not what we say, it's how we say, is somebody always say. And, those who do end up being evil or somewhat toxic. And it's funny how people will say quotes, people will say quotes and not even practicing what they're teaching or preaching. Well, I would say teacher. I would take a teacher over a preacher, because you have to be a teacher, because you learn from a teacher. Sometimes you only feel good from a preacher, depending on who the preacher is. But we have to know and we have to teach. When I say know our spirit deep within. And if our mind's wandering and we're not focused on things that are important, we don't have that needle straight, as I heard a brother say, that devil just going to have a ball with you. And again, children are always going to be young. Children are going to grow up one day. They're going to be adults, And what happens when you're a narcissist and you're selfish and you only want what you want, what happens is you push everything away. You push everybody away. Now, we do have people that are kind of, I would say, righteous loners. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about y'all, like those who who choose to be alone but not toxic or hurting anybody, because we have people like that just love being by themselves. Like me, I can be with people or be by myself, either or. I'm not talking about us. Salute to those, because if you can't love yourself or be by yourself and you got to have somebody around all the time, I feel sorry for you. Because if you always got to have validation from a person, place, or thing, you are truly going to be stuck on that hamster on the wheel. You're going to be like a hamster on the wheel. That's my thing I always say. So, but God, the real God, divine, always sends us signs and shows us warnings and tells us things we need to change within ourselves. Because we always know in our gut, don't care who we are, we always know. We can talk loud and boisterous and be all and all that. You're not God. We're like little specks on this earth. Earth is a speck. Earth is the smallest thing in the universe. We think this planet is so big. There are planets out there in the universe that's gigantic. That's probably 50 times bigger than the earth. Earth is very, very small, a speck. That's how we got to think. So when we think we're running something in our little corner of the world, you're a fool. Real talk. When you go against God, you speak God and then do the opposite. You don't think God's watching that and going to get you later on. But what God does, real God, is tries to teach us things, tries to work with us. It tries and tries and tries, because it knows us better than we knows ourselves. Remember, folks, melanated brothers and sisters, that divine force knows us from birth. So you don't think it doesn't know what we're going to do before we do it? So it tries to do things to show us, to prevent things from happening. Ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. But like I said, we have a household, we have children. They're going to grow up one day, and those, back to what I said, those who are narcissists and are selfish and using people and all this stuff, you're going to end up alone and you're going to push everybody away from you. And then what? So, but if we do end up being alone, let's make it where it's divinely alone and not where we pushed everybody away and and we cussed everybody out and we're drinking and all, and we just don't care and we're flying off the bat. Woo! I feel sorry for individuals like that. I really, really do. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. I really feel sorry for individuals like that because, again, like I said, those who are enlightened, brother or sister, younger or older, who have learned human behaviors and is a student of human nature, we learn anticipation. We almost have psychic abilities, and we can see in others sometimes what they can't see. So in order to get them to generate love and see things in themselves, we have to go silent. We can't be like them. We can't give in, because you can't fight toxicity with toxicity, because it'll just be a whirlwind. It's just to be a cycle that'll just keep going, keep going. Someone has to break the cycle. So silence is the most powerful thing, as a lot of us know, but we have to take it serious. And silence is not a weak thing. It's not a shy thing. It's not a scary thing. No, it's actually a powerful thing. It's letting that evil force know that you ain't one to fuck with and you're not going to give in. Thou shalt not be moved. That's how we got to be in our spirit, because remember, folks, a lot of times when people lash out and do things out of anger because of something they want, it's either past trauma that they never have gotten over, or it's insecurity within themselves, which a lot of us teachers speak on. Salute, brother or sister, because we all have dealt with those little insecurities. I remember I brought up this thing about fear that I actually pulled a quote from a movie. Fear, people who are cocky, and I'm talking about people who are not in alignment with that great divine and not in touch with themselves and think they're so confident. Those are the worst ones. I'm not talking about righteous brothers and sisters, because you can have a righteous confidence, but I'm talking about those who are not righteous and have a cocky confidence, and think they're confident, but deep inside they're not. It's a difference. So, and it's when we see that those who, like I said, been on this walk for a while and have studied human nature, we can, and it's sad sometimes, like I said, especially when there's children involved, and we see it in others, and we can see far ahead what will come in their lives. So again, the best thing is silence, because if we're healthy, mind, body, and soul, we all have a choice to have that real love, and I mean real, for our children, for our family, and especially for ourselves. And I'm talking real, emphasis on real, because I said it before and I say it again. Whatever we harbor deep inside, whether it's evil or good, a great divine Mother Nature will draw it right on out and reveal it. And you never know when it'll pop out. And again, so if you don't want to change, feel sorry for you in the future. You're going to be alone. People are going to shy away from you. That's how it's going to go, so because I study narcissism sometimes, because I want to make sure I'm not, and that's why I try to do things in love and have gratitude and let it come natural, not a fake gratitude, not a fake love. Because those who have a genuine heart and that light and genuine love within, the people, again, like I said, we have idiots and dummies out here, but we also have people that are not dummies. People know when you're fake, even if you're not face to face. People know if they got their real energy and they have studied human nature. We know. So you're just wasting your time if you're evil, manipulative. Again, you're going to be by yourself one day. You're going to find yourself by yourself. And I'm talking about in a toxic way. I ain't talking about brothers and sisters who are righteously by themselves. Because a lot of people be silent to stay away from things and keep themselves protected spiritually, mentally, and the good old physical. I'm not trying to take that. It's a brother I listen to that say that a lot. I'm not trying to take that from him. But, I mean, we all know that, we have to protect ourselves. Again, paranoia is a thing of the past. So, it's about keeping oneself stable and our children. So, one love to my children. I love them with all my heart. And may that great divine protect them from anything, and keep them strong and let them know they're going to be all right. If they stay with it, they stay with that love deep within, don't let things on the outside tap in to their emotions. And I will do whatever I do, whatever I can, for my biological children and my spiritually adopted children. I will nothing will ever sever that divine love connection that I have with them, my family, and brothers and sisters I've met along the way. And that's either in the world or online. And I don't care what happens in this life, my generals, brothers and sisters, children, family, love, real love is and are the ties that will forever bind. Salute.